Hello, hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yep to My App. Today's episode, America Star. You see, this is very in line with how I'm feeling today because today's episode is about being over fucking stimulated. Boy, oh boy, has it been a month, I think. I think it's been a hectic month for me. It's been a lot. And this episode is gonna be more of like a little of a venting session. And if you can relate, great. And if you can't, try to, because here are some fake statistics. 1 in 3 people are feeling this way at all times. So yeah. So let's just get into this because your girl is tired. Your girl is just doing too much. Yeah. So where do we start? I have all these overwords. Let me see. Let's just the big one is overstimulated. I am beyond overstimulated. And that looks different for everybody. But for me, like, for those of you who have misophonia, where like really repetitive, annoying sounds just piss you off. And like, I'm talking like when I was in college, there was this dude who used to sit behind me and he used to eat a jelly donut every morning. And I never saw the damn donut. But when he chewed it, I knew it was a jelly donut. And you would, look, this is about to trigger some people. You would hear it. It'd be like, it used to piss me off. And you can say, Erica, move your seat. I was in the front row. I was a fucking geek. And it was that point in the year where everybody kind of had assigned seats. And I asked him, I said, can you please move at least 2 rows back or to the other side of the auditorium? And he wouldn't do it. All to say, overstimulation feels like that kind of stress where it's just like this annoying thing that just keeps on triggering you for, in this case, like days and months even. And it just doesn't stop and everything else just keeps piling on. So that was such an odd example. Listen, you're listening to someone who's like truly out of it right now. But yeah, so I wouldn't say overworking myself, but as most of you guys know, I do have a 9 to 5 on top of doing this. And they've been killing me. They've been absolutely fucking killing me. Like, I have had minimum 5 I want to rip my hair out moments a week. And it's bad because I work, 1, with the news, and 2, with like quick turnaround videos. So if something happens yesterday, making the video today, getting it out hopefully by the afternoon. But then things happen. But, obviously that's to be expected. But things happen every day. And I'm just like, guys, like, why are we overcomplicating these things? There were like 3 days in a row that I'm working till like 6:30 because, some people don't understand the workflow and they don't know that after things are done with them, I have to do like 7 other things before my day is over. And that's just really stressful. So like I work remote and things can easily get overstimulating when, like you're trying to, like, I already don't have time for lunch at work and you're trying to get your work done. And somewhere in the midst of that, you're trying to season chicken or you're trying to make a sandwich, trying to eat even. And it's just not doable. Then, as you guys know, I have a dog. I can be doing all those things. Motherfucker decides to start puking middle of the day. No reason. Absolutely no reason. He just has really poor intestines and all that. I'm working on changing his diet. Don't come at me in the comments. But I'm just saying that messes with me. And then, by the time it hits like 6 o'clock, the one thing that keeps me sane, and like sane enough to like literally keep living is going to the gym. Going to the gym. When I'm there from my 1 to 2 hours, like I'm not thinking about anything else but my reps and sets. That's like the one piece of peace that I get every single day. So I'm like, okay, I get to chill out. I get home. I need to have a solid dinner at this point. And so I decide, do I cook or do I not cook? Or do I order? But if I order, that costs money. Let's get into the money part. New York is expensive. everything is expensive. I have friends. My friends want to go out. I love my friends. I'm going to spend money over there. I have my dog who runs out of food and I have to pay like $90 for another bag of food. And then, he pees and poops so much. Got to get wee wee pads. And then he has a vet visit, a routine vet visit, $500. Like stuff adds up very quickly. And then I like to treat myself. I can't lie. My nails aren't ever not done. And if they aren't, there's a problem. And so like, there's that balance of, okay, but I want to take care of myself and I still want to keep up with myself. And then you realize, oh, like I don't have the time to, and I don't have the money, and I don't have anything really, like any capacity to get these things going, because all the shit that matters isn't getting done because there's just so much of it. And then, of course, I have this podcast, and then I'm scheduling guests, and obviously I'm recording the episodes, and I'm doing solo episodes like the one I'm doing right now, and I'm scripting. And the more I get into the podcast, the more I realize, like, okay, like this can be a lot more polished if I prep doing these additional 2, 3, 4, the list goes on. The more you do these things before recording an episode. So then you realize there's a lot more production that needs to get done. And things just start building up really freaking fast. And then there are things like, like my family wants me to visit them in Florida. Great. And then I have to pause everything else that's stressing me out. And that stress builds over the time that I'm trying to be a present sibling and daughter for my family. And it's really hard to do that because, like I said, like nothing is done. Nothing is completed yet. I got to come home and finish all the things that I started, and then I see my mom for a weekend, and like, don't get me wrong, all these things are fun. I'm glad I'm seeing my family, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like everything is a lot all the time. And that's what I mean by being overstimulated. You can do things that you love and be with people that you love and still be overstimulated as fuck. And that gets in the way of you being present and just being there for the people who matter. So all that stuff has been getting to me. There's just so many things. And then I'm someone, just to give you context, who cares a lot about making sure that all of my, my things are in order. And by things, I mean like even the little things like my skincare or, like my hair care, or even just like my sleep schedule. And I say that these things are little things because to a lot of people they are, because they just don't care enough. For me, they're big because if I keep up with these things, I'm a generally happier person. So where was I going with that? Like, it's hard to keep up with those things, like in general, just because they are an additional thing that you don't necessarily need. But I mean, you need a decent sleep schedule, but like all the additional stuff, you don't 100% need them. So they're really easy to just kind of like push to the side when you got a whole bunch of other things going on. But then, you keep on doing things that you need to do, and you stop doing the things that maintain your mental health and just your overall outlook on life, or just like waking up in the morning and stuff. And things start going downhill at that point, and it gets really, really bad. Like I said, if you push those things to the side because you're like, okay, these aren't like 1000% necessities. Like I need to get my life together. And then you realize like, oh my gosh, like the things that I kept up with all the time are just falling apart all around me. So if we want to, start off with like the stuff I just mentioned, skincare. I do this thing where like I pretty much poke holes in every pore of my face, and I take out all the gunk, and my face gets red for like a few hours, and then I look like a rejuvenated baby right after. And I'm like, oh my God, when I have clear skin, I feel confident. I want to record solo episodes. It makes me want to book more guests because I'm like, okay, if I look good, I'm going to feel good on camera. I'm going to be more confident on camera. I'm going to get everything together. And at work, I have to also be on camera. And oh my God, that's a whole other thing. If I look shitty on a day that I have to be on camera for work, it's the worst day of my life because I'm just like, oh my God. Like, because for my job, millions of people are seeing it. And I'm like, guys, I look sick and I'm a little sick. My voice is cracky and it's too much. But you know what? You got to do the damn job and I get it done regardless. So yeah, that's my skin stuff. My hair, oh my gosh. So I was talking to my boyfriend the other day and I was like, you notice like I've been putting my hair in a slick back ponytail for like the past month. Like I haven't like washed my hair and done like a proper wash day. And I forgot what he said, but that's it's not important to the story, but it was just a realization that I had. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing it because I don't have the time and I don't want to put in the extra effort to really like cleanse my scalp. But then like my scalp is getting oily. I'm getting like these weird like scabs and flakes. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What is happening? What is happening? I look gross. I feel gross. And then I sweat and all that grossness from my head gets down to my face and then ruins the acne. And then really small things start becoming like hard to do. Like okay, you know, I'm just saying everything. I'm on the pill, okay? My birth control is the pill. Take it at the same time every day. And there are some days that I just like, my alarm will go off to take it. And I don't know why. I'll just be like, oh, because I'll be lying down or something or I'll be working and I'm just like, I can't go to my wallet right now and get my birth control pills and take one. And I'm just like not in the mood to do it. Like, and it's weird because it's like, no, you're supposed to do that. Like, you're supposed to take the fucking pill. Like, what are you doing? And I have like no motivation to be doing literally like anything. And it's weird because, and like I said, it's because I'm usually working or I'm doing something else that I feel is of more value. And it's just like, why am I weighing things out that way? But I feel like when you're overstimulated, you're forced to start weighing things as like, okay, 5 things are happening right now. What is the most important thing to do? Ignore all the other things. And that's not how it should go at all. Another thing I'm not keeping up with is my protein shakes. That was another thing. Like, I've been going to the gym every day. That's the one thing I've been keeping up with. It's the one thing that like, as soon as that goes to shit, you know, I'm doing bad. And you know, like I'm not taking my protein shakes. I'm going to the gym. I'm like, why does everything feel, because I also have muscle recovery and creatine in my protein shakes. And I'm like, why does my body look smaller? Why do I feel like I'm losing muscle? Why do I not like feel good? Like what is happening? Why am I more sore after workouts? Like everything just feels off. And then I start worrying about my body. And I'm like, do I have any vitamin deficiencies and all this stuff? Side note, I had a vitamin deficiency. I had a vitamin D deficiency. And it's just because like when it gets cold outside, I'm not outside in the daytime. And then, what's it called? The sun hasn't been sunning in New York or whatever. This was about a month ago. I started getting crazy headaches, like insane headaches. I had a headache that lasted almost a month. And then I started feeling nauseous and I was like, oh my God, am I pregnant? I took a bunch of pregnancy tests. I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. What the fuck is going on? Blah, blah, blah. Turns out, I had a vitamin D deficiency and I was low on my vitamin B. So if you have headaches or if you have any of the symptoms that I just had or you're honestly feeling depressed, it might be a vitamin D issue. Take that or take a trip to an island. Either one works fine, but do that because I was going through it. That was like the beginning of all this. So like this is like a 2.5 month long stress, overstimulation, yada, yada, yada type of thing that I'm dealing with. But yeah, how do we get there? Vitamin D deficiency. Oh my God. Working out. Whatever. Okay. Another thing, another way I knew I was just kind of like not here or whatever is because like I do this all the time. I wash my clothes and then I'll start to put away all the easy things like towels, pants, underwear, socks, whatever. But then when it comes to shirts and like really dressy shirts or things that are always difficult to put away, I'll put them on my windowsill and I'll wash them. I'll fold them later that night. And that's that. Like, it's just, I just delay it a little bit. That's fine. That's a typical thing for me. But I have clothes that have been sitting on my windowsill for no lie a month because I just don't have it in me to put them away. And if I have any older viewers watching, I know this can all sound very like, boo-hoo, that's your life, bah-ha-ha, like people are dying, yada, yada, yada. It's like, all right, simmer down because I work as hard as I do for these to be my big problems. So like, yes, I'm very grateful that these are considered my big problems and that I don't have, just a life that forces me to focus on, things that are that much more severe. It's a little side note. But it's just, I don't think it's crazy when people say like, sometimes that they just don't want to get up in the morning to do the thing that they love and they don't know what it is that's like stopping them from doing that. Like that doesn't sound crazy. It doesn't sound like, to me, that you're not ungrateful and you're not just like a piece of shit who wants to stay in bed because sometimes it's hard. Like when I see those videos of, people like taking all those water bottles out of the bottom of their beds, like I get it. Would I do that? honestly, me personally, no, that would stress me out like a lot more than a lot of other things. Um, but the things that I'm mentioning are the things that are my equivalent to that. And like a lot of people say, like I have a clean home or whatever, and it's super neat. But like that's the thing. If my I don't want to call it baseline, but if my norm is the apartment being super clean, then little things being out of place means that I'm not okay. Like my apartment doesn't have to be disgusting and with weird fluids dripping from the ceilings for me to be overstimulated, borderline depressed, or any of that, or anxious, whatever you want to call it. It's a bunch of stuff. I'm just naming the things that, you know, things in my life and for people who live the way that I live or understand the way that I am to let you know, like maybe you don't notice the signs and these are some of the signs. Like I have dry cleaning, like, okay, I'm short and a lot of my pants are a lot longer than my legs. So almost every pair of pants I get, I have to get tailored. And what I do is like I'll wait until I've bought like 5 new pants. So sometimes it'll be like over a month span because I don't like going to the dry cleaner with one pair of pants and then like waiting and then going to pick up that one pair and then going back saying them one. Like I don't like that. I'd rather wait till I have like at least 5 pairs of pants and then I'll go and then you get my 5 pants and it's like, oh my God, it's like I went shopping again, yada, 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 whatever. It's just how I do things. And I have had all these pants. I've met the minimum of 5 pants. I think we've gotten to 6 or 7 with as much time that's passed. And I still haven't taken them to dry cleaners. Like I have had no motivation to carry the pants to the dry cleaners, wait however many days and pick them up. Like it's just not like that's the crazy thing. It's like that feels overwhelming to me. And I'm like, why? Because if you've heard my rants before, I'm a very get it done, do the damn thing kind of person. Like, shut the fuck up, stop crying. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm very harsh and like, like I'm like that. So I know that when I start, it's gonna sound so bad. When I start doing things in a way that would make me call somebody else like a bitch or just calling somebody else a wuss or telling somebody get over it, then I'm like, all right, like I'm down bad. And just say, like, I don't say those things to people in a way to say like I'm better than you or any of that. It's just when I say those things, it's just, if you're gonna whine and bitch and moan to me, like I'm gonna tell you like exactly what I told myself. Like there are other problems and stuff and there are bigger things in this world and yada, yada, yada. Like, I don't think I'm a hypocrite. I don't know. I just don't think it's hypocritical. I just think I'm very real with what I'm feeling in the moment every time because in none of those situations did I lie. Is that what I thought of you? Yes. Is that sometimes what I think about myself? Yes. And do I want to be that person? No. Like, do I want to be a bitch is what I mean. No. But I am one right now to some people. But I am giving myself grace and self-love. And I think that's another like weird internal battle that a lot of people go through where it's like you want to call yourself all these bad things and from the outside you know that you kind of are like, to some extent like lazy or just like whatever. But no, there's a truth to being unmotivated and like being overwhelmed and for, those who bite off more than they can chew, like shit happens. So I know that sounded like a lot of mumbo jumbo and stuff, but if you feel me, you feel me. And if you don't, watch another video. But yeah, so there's that. And another sign that I've noticed like this is a me thing. When I'm stressed and overwhelmed and I just feel like everything is too much, I'm being very honest, so please don't fucking yell at me. I'm one to see like how many of my problems can be fixed with money. And I will go on Amazon and I will shop, 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 shop. I'm like, okay, what? Because I always have items in my Amazon cart. And I go to the list and I'm like, which of these things would make me happy like right now? And by make me happy, I mean like a freaking hanger for my bathroom because I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to have to fold my towels every time. I want to be able to just throw it up. And this is, okay, side note, I use towels for other things. I don't use towels after the shower because in case anybody has seen an episode, I think I mentioned that I don't use towels after I shower. I air dry. And by air dry, it's not like I'm walking around naked. I just put my pajamas on because I'm like, you're just wet. Like, you're not soaked. Sorry. But but yeah, sometimes it's just, hanging up the towel dryer thing on the door. So I'm like, okay, let me buy that. Or sometimes it's like command strips, sometimes it's tape refills because I don't have any tape refills. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like such a weird adult thing that I never thought of buying, you know, or it's dish soap. Like there's so many little things that truly would make me happy because these are things that, you know, increase my productivity and just like how clean my apartment looks. Because also when things aren't complete in my apartment, I leave it out. So like I have a ladder in my living room because I have a mural that I'm painting on the wall. And that ladder has been out for 5 months. And it's been out for 5 months because I'm like, okay, well, that's still a work in progress. And I don't mind that it's there because I know it's something that I'm working on. So if I have a tape dispenser that ran out of tape refills, I will leave the tape dispenser out in a place that isn't its typical, place to be or whatever until I get the tape refills. So, that's how I live my life. And once again, like I know you can say like, well, Erica, you don't have to do that, but that's what works for me. Everyone is very different. Everyone's brain works differently. I'm just letting you know how that works for me. Where was I going with that? Damn it. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I self-diagnose myself with this damn ADD brain because I can get so far and nowhere at all. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, Amazon purchasing things. Yes. So I have that bad habit where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to buy all these things. And like, I know the examples I just gave, it sounded like I needed those things, but there are some ridiculous things in the cart. And so I'll get like 6 things I need and 1 thing I don't because my logic is like, okay, well, if I was going to make this purchase anyways, I may as well get, a little treat that will come in the same box on the same day. And it kind of cancels each other's out, right? That's how you say it? Yeah. And I think that works for me. But it doesn't work for my bank account. Like it's a fucking mess. And another bad habit that I have is once I'm like deep in the hole when it comes to my credit card, it can only get deeper. And I'm just like, well, if we're already below zero, let's go farther. Let's keep digging, But that's just me. That's irresponsible. But I have my shit together. Like I'm not in debt. I'm fine. But it's a gross habit. And I get out of it anytime that my whole life is in order. And I feel like I'm always working toward a day where I can just do my 9 to 5, go to the gym and literally not do anything else. Like if I could have like 4 days where that's my life, like just average, I'm literally striving for average. Like if I can have that for, like I said, 4 days, then, all the other tasks and things that I'm taking on and all that feel more doable. My brain just needs to breathe. And for those of you who are like, hey, like just do that right now and just put everything on pause. Like I literally fucking can't. Like I'm in a place right now that as soon as I put even one of the things I'm working on pause, then everything else crumbles. Like I'm taking on a lot. And I knew what I was getting into. So with that, I also say to those of you who are overstimulated, I feel like it's important to, take a step back and look at how much of all this you put on yourself, because sometimes it's just you. Sometimes you're the problem. And in my case, like I say it's a 50-50 because I think it's a mix of people having expectations of me and then a mix of me wanting to do things for myself. And then some fucking where in the middle, people think that the things I'm doing for myself are worth judging and making comments about and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, there was no third thing. It's literally stuff for me and, keeping up with people's expectations. But it's like people who matter, like parents and siblings and friends and stuff. But yeah, and that leads me to my next point where like I say I'm overwhelmed, I'm overbooked, I'm overstimulated, yada, yada, yada. But I'm also an overachiever. And that is like that's like what I said. Like sometimes you put these things on yourself. Like I'm an overachiever. I believe I can do everything and anything. And you can watch earlier episodes where I'm, talking about, hey, like you can do anything and everything for as long as you put your mind to it and all that stuff. But I also talk about how I like to take life in waves, and this is just one really ugly wave. And another thing, New York has been cloudy as heck. It's been so cloudy. It's been so gloomy. We haven't had a pretty weekend in like 4 weekends. Um, we're all just going through it. I'm going through like a mini additional like seasonal depression, honestly, because it finally got warm after the winter, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, like summer is fucking here. And then April showers and shit, not a fun time. So that's that. And then in terms of just being overbooked, for that, I just mean like the podcast. The podcast has been taking up a lot of my time because me being, like I said, the overachiever I just mentioned, I started recording this podcast in July. So I was building up episodes and episodes and episodes up until the day that the podcast was made public. So that meant I was just freely recording episodes and stuff like that. And I was able to take a break to focus on the social media aspect once the podcast got going. But now we're finally at a point where episodes are catching up to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to get a guest. I need to do this. I need to record a solo episode. I need to do things while life is still going. Because as I always say, the world's going to keep spinning. Like, the world doesn't care about you. No one cares about my podcast. No one cares about the things that I want to get done on a daily basis. Nobody cares. And I've accepted that because that's just the way it is. Like, you got to be really fucking real with yourself. Nobody cares. No one cares. So, yeah, I've gotten to that point. And like I said, by what I meant before, where I was like, some things you put on yourself, I put this on myself starting a year ago. And, like, I'm just dealing with it. Like, I have no choice but to deal with it, because if this is something that I want, this is something that I want to do, this is something that I want to take off, then this is what comes with it. And I keep telling myself like things like that, just so that I'm like, Erica, like, none of this is that deep. This is something that you knew was going to happen. This is a type of overstimulation and over everything that you knew you were going to encounter over the next year and a half, life, whatever. And that's how I'm getting through it. So, all these overwords, like I said, overachiever, overstimulated, overbooked, overwhelmed, yada, yada, yada. Let's get to the part where we overcome. Haha. I'm corny as fuck. Y'all must love this. If you're here and you're watching, you got this far, you're a corny fuck. But yeah, so overcoming all these things. Something that I did recently, like once I realized like things are kind of not going great for me, was I forced myself to do all the things that I literally just told you guys like I had no motivation to do. I just set aside like 2 hours, and I was like, I'm cleaning the bathtub, I'm mopping, I'm doing my skincare, I'm like full on getting everything out of my face, I'm putting on eye masks, I'm drinking the protein shake, I'm making sure I get to the gym today and I have like a more fulfilling workout session, because like I said, I've still been going to the gym, but I just haven't been like feeling like me. I'm, just caring more about stuff. I threw out clothes that I knew I was never going to wear but was just lingering in my closet. Like, I just did a whole bunch of things that was just sitting there, like, and that's what I mean, because, guys, I talk a lot about energy and stuff, but that's what I mean. Like, all those things, all those tasks that I had just like sitting around, that's all stagnant energy. Like, it's literally just sitting there. Nothing is getting done with it. You have no intentions of doing anything with it, at least like in the moment. And it's just there. And then once that takes up too much space in your life, once too much is just like blech, how do I say this? It's just like not enough in your life matters. And that's when things get scary. Like, This is part of what I mean when I say to live a life where everything matters so much and just feel completely and just be in it with everything, just all or nothing, everything. But when you have an all or nothing mindset and nothing starts taking up more than all, you're picking up what I'm putting down, then you're just a bum. You're just a burnt out bum, and nobody likes that. So, man, it sucks. It sucks dealing with these things. Like, full transparency. Like, I'm not here to tell you like you can get over overstimulation and anxiety and being overwhelmed in 2 days. No, you fucking can't. Because at least in my situation, I'm feeling these things because they're like worldly things that need to get done. It's not like all in my head. It's just it's a fast-paced life. And I say this all the time. I'm not leaving New York. I like this fast-paced life, but I like the fast-paced life when I have all my shit in order and together. And I'm a human, and New York is a living, moving city. Two very different things. So there's gonna be waves of time where I just can't keep up, and that's okay. If you can't keep up with your life, that's okay too. But just don't let it. I mentioned waves. Don't let it be a tsunami. That's a very don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. Damn it. It's okay. It's okay. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this talk, this venting session. I hope you related. I hope I gave you some clarity if this is something that you can't understand for some other people who like literally just don't have it in them to answer your texts, or don't have it in them to stay on the phone for a prolonged period of time. Like, like just give everybody else grace. But if, like I said, if you are me, give yourself some grace, but also get your shit together. Because, like I said, world's gonna keep spinning. And talk to someone. Or if you felt like you talked to me through this video, you're welcome. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Please engage. Please, comment everywhere, like everything. Please follow me on the Yip to My Yap Instagram page. You can see a bunch of snippets there if me talking for this long just bores the heck out of you. And yeah, thank you for listening and watching once again, and I will see you next week. Bye.